Hello guys, so today we're looking at a scenario where civilization restarts. Yeah, all humans gone, all countries gone, and everything just restarted. And everything will start off in a tribe here, but first let me give you some tips. The gray areas are undiscovered land and the white areas are discovered land. Okay, and the yellow dots on countries are capital cities. And we're starting off our first country here in Qatar. That's where everything started from. So first we will have our tribe of 200 to 300 people. And they're going to make their settlement here. They're slowly expanded across the shores. Okay. And they'll also discover this area. What's an area without some discovered land? Now, they do stick to the shores because they are one of the only ways of food source. And if they go inwards, like some crazy people do decide, they die because they do not know how to hunt animals. So some crazy dumb people decide to go in, but they immediately die because, of course. But then they start scaling up, and they are now expanding their colony here a little by little. They have a pretty long colony right now, a very long one going across the shores. And some crazy people decided to explore more, but this time going around the coast to bring more materials here. However, they stop because, of course. Then they go across here. They also make the country go in there. Also, this looks like a stomach. What the fuck? And they go inward. Here you go. So we have our country, and outside its capital. The capital of this country will be pretty close to the shore, right here. Like this, yes. And I do have to save that color. Okay, so the red people come in, and there's now a debate. Some people think that this entire world is a desert, while some people claim that they have some trees across this little lake here or around here. So this is going to create some disagreements, and a rebellion might happen, but they still go on. This time this direction. And they continue expanding their discovered lands. Yes, this looks totally bad. And they eventually reach the other side of the Arabian Peninsula. And they just discover more and more land. As usual, they even expand therein too. But now all the disagreements have became way too much. And now a new country is forming here. Okay, let me change the size. So this entire northern half of this country decides to say, hey, if you guys do not let me expand up, then I'm gonna do a rebellion. Those guys, of course, said nope. And then they just turned into a rebellious group. They do not fight a war because, And then they do try to discover some more lands. They go across here, and the red country has already made some boats. So they're gonna try to cross the ocean first. No, this little lake here. First attempt failed. Second attempt, they do get quite close, but their boat gets destroyed by a rock. Luckily, they can swim, and they discovered this tiny little area here. There's lots of green stuff, and they were like, okay. Yes, the blue people were right. Also, I forgot to give them a capital city, the blue people. So you can get your capital city decently far away from the red country. Okay. So yes, this is going great. The blue country is looking kind of strange, so it's gonna fix that issue by expanding a little. They're gonna go like this. They're gonna go from here, and kind of try to encircle the red country. Yeah, I don't like those straight borders there. They try to encircle the red country, but the red country quickly finds its way to get out of this encirclement. And now they are inside of the deep parts of Arabia. Those parts are not very stable though. And they decide to collapse. Yeah, literally. Yeah, they did a mistake on trying to cut each other off. But they do learn from their little mistake they have made and decide to explore instead of expand. You know this little part red people have discovered? Well, they're gonna expand that little area and they'll even set up their little colony over there. From there, exploration goes fantastic. All the animals, there's so many of them. Okay. And they do discover a lot of this part. I mean, a lot. The blue people decide to go around this part and they eventually meet up with the red people's explorers. So they are like that. They think that this part is like a bay of sea or sea of some sort of hell thingy. And yes, they completely confirm that by mapping out all of the information they have. Like all of the puzzle pieces of a puzzle. Now, there hasn't been any expansion lately, so I'm going to do that. So, the blue people also decide to make a landing right here, just so that they can connect up. Yeah, pretty stupid, dumb idea, but that's what people do. They make stupid, dumb ideas. These countries here, they're looking pretty weird. And the blue country is going to expand to the colony of the red country. And they're going to expand their little peninsula thingy over here. The tail of blue. Yes, literally, that's what I'm calling it for some reason. Like the tail of Myanmar, you know that? Well, here's the tail of blue. So they're exploring these parts. But the blue people have some serious difficulties on controlling this area. So you know what happens? Okay, this entire part here decides to break away. They say, hey, why aren't you sending enough resources to us? Then the blue people say, you're literally 10 quintillion miles away, bro. How the heck should I send resources to you? Okay, we are rebelling against you. Get out. So they form their own lime country and decide to encircle the colony of the red team, and it goes excellent. The red country is understandably mad about this. And this country here is gonna put their capital farthest away from any country. Right here on the sea. So this is our world here. So this is what the world looks to them, and this is how it looks to us. Yeah, pretty small, I should say. Now, the blue people decide to send explorers up. Blue and green people. Okay, what am I doing? So, okay. So they go up. They send a lot of explorers. Some of them die, but they do get food from animals. And they reach the sea, the Caspian Sea here. Yeah, it's the Caspian Sea. And then they go up around the Caspian Sea, thinking that it's an ocean of some sort. But then they do meet up. So they confirm that it's the sea. Also, these countries should be bigger right now. Okay, so they try to maximize their explored area by doing this swift move. And they also discover more of the Arabian Peninsula. So they go around here, discover this part, And they are now swiftly sweeping across the Arabian desert. Slowly, though. So now they decide to do some expansion. The Red Country, after their colony being encircled, will take this huge amount of land. I'm sure that won't cause any problems, right? Huh? What? What the fuck is happening? Bro. Oh, now I see. Wait, let me fix the issues. Okay, so we have fixed the issues. So the Red Country will take a lot of land. And yes, they're gonna take this entire part over here. Let's fill that up real quick. Like this. Okay, that looks awful. That looks as awful as hell. Ew, I don't want to see that. The Red Country is in a weird state right now. So yes, they're gonna, just because they are a little bit more connected, especially around this area, they're gonna declare war on the Blue Country. This is the first war in the series. And they do it pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna keep the areas which they evade different colors so that you can see what they're evading. But they are invading the Blue Country, just enough land so that they can do this, and the Blue Country is not strong enough to do anything. So let's work out a peace treaty among these two countries. And the peace treaty looks something like this. So the Blue Country, mad about just what the Red Country did, will also expand, right? Don't worry, the countries are now into the point that they can go inside a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, let me increase this setting here. Yes. And yes, they make this colony here. Also, I like the border of the Red Country over here. Yeah, okay, I was just joking. Okay, so the Red Country, knowing that it can defeat some countries, is going to war with the Lime Country. And they're gonna take over this part here, just so that they can get some access. And the only little bit they do is just do this. So let's work out a peace treaty. Simple, right? So the Red Country expands this little colony they have. And yes, they're gonna keep it like this, kind of encircling the Lime Country in a little. And now we are gonna do some exploration. It has been a long time since we have done it, right? So they decide to send out an exploration group up here. Now some people from these countries don't like it that it's so cold, especially the northern people of the Blue Country over here. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna go up and try to go establish their own nation somewhere in Turkey or Greece. So they first start off on this area, discovered land, and they spearhead towards this area, and hoping for a sea, they do find it. Now they scale up this part over here, and it's exactly cold enough for them over here. So they're gonna establish their area in Greece, and they'll discover the entire peninsula. And so, say welcome to the Cyan Country. Yay! Look at him. He is so small and cute and weak, of course. So they want to make their own little tiny empire with lots of areas around seas and oceans. And they also want to be the strongest country in the world. So they make a landing in Turkey here, and they explore almost the entire peninsula. Yeah, is that a peninsula or not? I don't know. So they explore the entirety of Turkey, and they establish a small colony in it. So they take this and they establish a colony in Turkey. They expand it a lot. And yes, there's so much people in this little pocket that it has managed to expand this much. Yeah, literally this much. So it will leave right now because these people here are interested. Huh? Where did 12% of my population go? So they decide to explore their tracks until they find the country here. They're kind of mad about this because why would our population go there? And they even go around the Mediterranean Sea and find them here. So yes, they are one of the countries who are establishing colonies off seas. Kind of like the red country, what he does here. Speaking of the red country, they're doing something magnificent. Holy water house. So yes, they expand their little colony only for one reason. This part of Oman here is not that useful. So they're going to shrink this part down and move their capital. And not only that, they also do this. Yes, so this part is not needed that much. Also, where are the capitals of these two countries? Wait, let me plop them back. So yes, they let go of this part of the country just because they do not need it. Also, and now I know why that happened. The brush was too big, the eraser. So yes, they do exactly that. And to fulfill the losses, okay, okay, this is the capital. To fulfill the losses they have just made, just to give up some land, they're gonna first explore almost the entire Indian Peninsula. Oh, of course I'm on the wrong layer. Explore all of this, and then they do this tiny little swift move and this huge move. So yes, they move from the Arabian Peninsula to India. Yeah, I'm officially calling this country India. So now the lime country here feels like they're too small. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna expand a little. And I mean a little, I mean this amount. And the red country, not feeling safe, is gonna move their capital from here all the way, okay, all the way to okay, his country, right to here. So they can easily give, okay, they're gonna move it to the middle of the country. That's settled. Yeah, they're gonna move it to the middle of the country so that they can reach to all those places, including Sri Lanka. Yeah, I call it Sri Lanka, like an English accent. So yes, they do exactly that. Now the dark green country here just being released, well, the red country did not leave much population there. So the blue country, taking advantage of this, is gonna invade to the country. So they immediately invade, and yes, they destroy a lot of it. Not before the red country comes in. Oh my god. Okay, I'm depressed of myself, bro. Huh? Wait, let me solve this. Yeah, the layer issues are getting bigger, but now how am I doing this again on this layer, bro? What? Yes, so not before the red country comes in and... No. Bro, it's always so uncomfortable. And they annex this little bit here. So here's the peace treaty. Yes, this is the peace treaty. And the blue country took this little part here because it was like a major city. And the red country is kind of angry about that. Why would you mess up your borders just to make your population increased? Yeah, literally, that's what the red country says. Because it's the red country, bro. Everybody knows it. So now, lastly, we'll come to the cyan country. And they'll grow from this to this. Oh my gosh. So the reason because they are able to do such things is because they have a great expansion method. They first store up all of their population in one little bubble, which was here, and then move it all out to this part here. And yeah, they just do all of that. And they also discovered the Baltic Sea. Pretty cool, right? So if you guys enjoyed, then subscribe and bye bye. This is only the part 1 of the series. It's gonna get better and better.